Hi, I'm Jeff Winberg, and in this video, I wanted to talk with you candidly about how much money you could potentially expect to make doing this. Now, I can't make claims that you'll make X amount of dollars in X amount of days. I can only speak to my experience and what I made and how it all went down. So this is what we'll, talk about. It'll basically be a breakdown of how things happen so you can see what I did and what you might also expect. I'm also going to tell you that I have a lot of colleagues that, they do this kind of business in different types of areas that make as much or more than I do. So these numbers are without a doubt realistic. All right, so let's go ahead and get into crunching some numbers here. When I first started this whole deal, I was, working a boring customer service job, making about $12 per hour. Now, that might be on the high side for some and on the low side for others, but it's where I started nonetheless. For a 40-hour week, that brought in about $480. So for a year, that's almost $25,000, which, isn't horrible, but it's not, living like a king status either. So once I did my taxes and took off all the expenses I had, I just ended up with quite a bit less than that, like, half that. So needless to say, I definitely didn't make much money. My first year, my main goal was to basically just make as much as my day job, so $480 a week. And that may or may not sound like a lot if you've not done anything like this before, but really it's not that much money to try and pull in from this type of business. And once I started making that much in one job, I realized, how little money that actually was. But anyway, back to making that $480 per week. I didn't do it immediately, but within, maybe about a month or two, I was making that consistently. And if you're, just wanting extra money here or there, consistency doesn't really matter. But if you're wanting to quit your job, you'll need to be making consistent money before doing that. So $500 a week would equate to about 1 to 2 jobs a week, depending on, what you're doing. That's not really too crazy of a work schedule. So if you wanted to do this while you keep your day job, it really wouldn't be that hard. Now, to put it in perspective, I do anywhere from 4 to 8 jobs a week, depending on how busy I am with, other stuff. And keep in mind, this is my full-time job. It really just depends on how much butt you want to kick and, what else you've got going on. Someone could easily work harder than I do and make much more money, but I like enjoying other stuff besides work, so I generally only put in part-time hours. But that being said, I still make a full-time income, and it more than covers all of my bills. All right, so let's fast forward to the end of that first year. Every month, tallying up my income got more and more exciting as the year went on because income grew every month to the point where I was making more than I could have imagined making in any job, let alone my own business. And once I started seeing what was possible, I set my yearly goal at $50,000 by the end of the year. Now, what I ended up doing is I ended the year with $35,000, and I, didn't reach that $50,000 goal, but, still that wasn't too shabby for my first year. That was about a $10,000 raise I got myself. And this was all while doing something that just totally rocked harder than any job I had ever had before. I was working from home the whole time. I had freedom to do whatever I wanted at whatever time I wanted and just, really enjoyed myself. And so when I started the next year, I really wanted to hit that $50,000 a year goal. And so that was my new benchmark that year. That equates to about $960 a week, which, is pretty good for sure. That was about double my starting goal. So what ended up happening is I secured a small handful of huge jobs instead of, doing a bunch of little jobs. And I found this to be the best way to get to whatever kind of financial goal you're, ultimately looking to get at. But anyway, fast forward to the end of the year and I ended with $57,000. And I cannot tell you how exciting it was to make that much money. Again, this might not be a lot for some, but for most people like me, this was huge, especially like doing it all on my own. I never imagined that I'd make that much money. I overshot that $50,000 goal by $7,000 and oh my God, I'm so excited. You just have no idea. And it's like success breeds success and it just makes you want to go even harder. And this year is looking to, continue on that upward trajectory. All right, so this is done every year by people just like me and just like you who, get tired of working dead-end jobs and take matters into their own hands. So this isn't some sort of like he got lucky type situation. You can do this just as easily as I did. Now, if you'd like a step-by-step guide through the process to making this much or more, you can become a member of Income Virtue by clicking the button below. Now, I'll show you how to set up your own business, how to get your first job, and how to scale it into a massive enterprise. And the proof is in the pudding, as they say. I've just laid out what I've personally done for myself, and I'll show you how I did it. If you're not ready to take that step to financial freedom, that's totally cool. I just wanted to show you a first-hand account of what you can expect. I'm Jeff Winberg from Income Virtue. Thanks for watching.